kind of a weird video for you guys today. Take a look at this. Yeah, look at that thing. So this is my old guitar amp. So one thing you guys probably don't know is that I used to play guitar quite a bit, actually, back in the day. And yeah, I used to be in a band, a couple of, was it one or two bands back in the 90s? I played pretty much all through the 90s. Like, I think I got my first guitar in 91 or 2 and played pretty much all through the 90s, and then I got into design and sort of stopped playing and just kind of took up all the time. But recently I've been kind of wanting to get back into it a little bit. So kind of a weird project today is that I'm going to take this Marshall. This is a JCM 800 that I got when I was just before I got into school. I bought this secondhand. We got a really good deal on it. Apparently they're worth some money now, but yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's a tube amp, and it's a 2-channel kind of deal. If you guys aren't familiar, tube amps are kind of the way to go if you want that old school. You can't see it now. Rest assured, we're gonna show you how this looks, but it has one 12-inch Celestion speaker in there, so for the main speaker, and then the tubes are kind of hidden behind this panel. I'm going to pull this board out because, you know, I was looking at it, and the tubes, other than one of them, seemed to be original, and this is almost a 40-year-old amp. So this is it's about a 35-year-old amp. I think it's an 84 or 83, something like that. I have to look inside of it. But they're still pretty desirable. If you ever see these things, you know, around, you know, I don't think they're super rare or anything, but the Marshall sound was kind of the old sound that, you know, all the old rock and roll bands like to have, and this is one of the classic ones. So it has a real warm, kind of a warmer sound. That's why you'll want a tube amp. They are a little more maintenance, which I've really neglected on this thing. I haven't done anything to it really other than just play it a little bit here and there over the years, but I kind of want to get back into it. So I've noticed that, you know, a couple of years ago, I went and cleaned out all the pots on it, all the resistors, the knobs and everything, and they're actually pretty good. I was playing it the other day, and they're actually really pretty good. There's a little bit of crackle on a couple of them, but nothing too crazy. I replaced the cord just today. I went over to Guitar Center and picked up some stuff. You know, like this right here is a brand new, you know, cord. The original one's right here, and it just had like, let me show you. I don't know what was eating. Maybe like a mouse ate it or something. Can you see that? Focus. So there's some weird stuff going on there. I don't know what the deal is with that, but that always kind of freaked me out a little bit. It seemed, you know, yeah, I don't know. It was just getting kind of old and crispy. So I went ahead and replaced that. Got a new one. These are just computer cables. You've probably seen those before. They go in like just computers, and that's what they use. So not real expensive. And then let's see. I took the knob off of here because one fell off in one of our moves that we did, so I put that there. So I'm gonna have to find another knob for that. I don't use this feature. I think it's something, I don't know what it is. It's something, some return line or something for effects pedals or something like that. But it's a pretty good little amp, and you know, it's pretty cool to own something like that. I mean, they do sound really good, but like I said, there's a lot of noise on it. There's a lot of well, when tubes go bad, they kind of make noise, and when you bump into it, they'll kind of ring and sound crackly and funky, and sometimes it's just due to the connectors that are in there, and sometimes it's just they're bad. So in this case, you know, I don't really care. I'm just gonna replace them because they're so old. And a set of tubes, decent ones, well, I mean, kind of lower end ones, gonna run me about $130 for the whole thing. And there's quite a few in there. There's 2 power tubes, and then there's like 5 preamp and reverb tubes and stuff like that. But each feature has its own tube, so I can tell that it sounds really good. I switched around some of them the other day and kind of got it working. You know, like the reverb one doesn't get used a lot, and so I switched it around, and actually starts to sound pretty good, but there's still a lot of noise. So I think what's happening is they're just getting, they're just breaking down. So I'm going to open this thing up again. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of work, you know, cleaning the pots out or anything like that. But I am going to pull these tubes out, just get it out on the desk here, and then I'm going to order some and just make sure kind of that's what I need, and just see if there's anything else going wrong. And then I have to bias it. Once you put new tubes in, you got to bias it and make sure your tubes have enough power going to them, but not too much so it distorts all the time. So you can kind of finesse that. But there's some procedures for that. So I've never done that before, but I'm going to have to do it when I put new ones in. So I'm going to get this thing apart and clean it up and kind of blow it out and make sure we're in good shape. So kind of a weird video for you guys, but you know, it's just something kind of fun. I mean, to me, getting back into you know, playing a little bit of music is kind of relaxing. You know, there's a lot of stress in life, so hey, if there's something you can do that's you know, kind of take care of some of that stress, that might be kind of a cool thing. Plus, it's kind of fun. I mean, it's going to take a while to get back into practice, but I don't have any calluses on my fingers anymore, so I have to get those back. But anyways, I'm going to get into this thing. You'll follow along. All right, so I'm going to pull this off right here first. Now, let me just think. I think that I actually, yeah, the problem is I don't know if I can unplug. Unfortunately, I think I have to take this off too. I don't really like to do that. But this is the reverb unit down here, and it plugs in, but I think I have to get to it still. That's kind of a pain, actually. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, you can unplug it, but it's like tied in here, so I'm gonna have to somehow kind of get that out of there. I don't even know if that's necessary. I might even just take that out, because it's kind of a pain. You have to take this apart. It's kind of cool. It's just a spring in there so that's made in the USA. Actually, it's kind of cool. Probably a good time to clean everything out. So it should just drop out of there. These big old screws come out. Okay. Cool. All right, here we go. It's about to get really interesting, guys. Okay, now I'm gonna pull this speaker off of there. I think this is free, huh? Just gotta carefully do it, you know. These amps are actually kind of, yeah, see, it's kind of heavy. You gotta be really, these transformers are heavy. There's like 2 monster transformers in here. Look at that right there. Wow. Old school. All right, you guys wanna see what rock and roll's made out of? Take a look in here, huh? Look at that. Let's take a look here. So this was assembled in the USA, it looks like. You got to be kind of careful with stuff like this right here. This is a capacitor. We talked about this on the electronics video, and yeah, those can zap you even when the power's off. That's a pretty big one, so you got to be kind of careful. Now they're supposed to be, where's the power tubes? Power tubes are right there. I think there's a, yeah, there's a resistor here and here. I think you can change those, I'm pretty sure, to a different value. And then you can run a different style tube. So a lot of guys run the E34s, or is that what it's called? E34s, something like that. And they're more of a crunchier sound. Well, I have 6550s in mine. Again, you amp nerds are going to know what this is all about. This is a GE, US made, GE 6550 power tube right here. It's held in with this little cap. And the original 6550s, I think, were they kind of puffed out. Well, they started making them straight and all that for smaller space, like, you know, you're bumping into stuff here. But I think I'm going to stick with the 35 or the 6550s. I think I just want that cleaner sound. and you have to drive it a lot harder to get it to distort. So it actually sounds kind of cool. It sounds pretty nice. And look over here on this side right here. This is where it's at right here. This is where the magic happens here. See that? 2 power tubes, and then I got 5. You probably can't see the top one here. This is your drive. I think it's your the gain, and then there's something else, probably the clean, and then one of these is the reverb. I don't know what that one does. And then this one's the phaser, which is just another amp, preamp. These are all kind of part of the preamp system, and then this is the power amp system right here. So these are, I think the only one I could tell that was replaced, I think, was like one of these. I think it was the reverb one. It looks like it had a new one. Yeah. See, this is a different brand. The other ones don't have any markings on it at all. And this is a Service Master or something, some old thing, I don't know. Tubes in there. I'm going to go with JJ tubes. You know, they're kind of low end, but one of my buddies who's actually one of my old roommates from back in college plays guitar professionally, and he said get JJs, just have them, buy them from a good source that will balance everything for you. So happens to be that source happens to be, you know, not too far from where we live. But look at all these look at there's 3 transformers on this thing. Massive, and they're super heavy. These power transformers. There's a Drake, and it's like just a monstrosity. So heavy. Kind of at a weird angle, but there's your. I think that's the test point. I'm gonna have to make sure it says Y, and then the other one's something. Those other ones look like they're going to the capacitor. Capacitor's over here. It's a little crispy back there. I'm looking at some of the solder connections. It looks a little rough. I don't know about that one. But you know, they crimped everything out, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's all done by hand. Actually, it looks really clean. No bulging on these kind of things. All these little capacitors around here. You just want to make sure they're not like puffing up or leaking anything. That one in here is interesting because the case is actually kind of bent in to screw it down. That's not really ideal, but it looks okay. It's not doing anything weird. The capacitors over here look okay. It looks like there was something at one point soldered to one of them down here on the bottom. Let me show you. There was something soldered to this one down here. I don't know. They unhooked it, so I don't know what that was all about. Somebody messed up or something, and they bent it down. I don't know. I don't see it. It goes to the ground. That goes directly to ground. So I don't know. Alright, so here's what I'm in here for. I'm going to pull these all off and just get them out of here. I'm going to clean out. Don't lose those. These are actually really nice. You don't have to have them, I don't think, because they'll stay in. But these little retention caps with springs in them are kind of cool. A lot of the old ones, you know, those fell off. Or what happens where guys would start adjusting these things, start moving them around because they start humming and crackling and making a bunch of racket. So they just take these off and they would lose them. But I'm going to pull these off right now. Now, how does this come off? I've never taken these out before, but I think you just pull them off like this. Just like that, and they just fall out of the way. Like that. Nice little retention system there. So, yeah, these are original, I'm guessing. I'm going to go with, they're probably 100% original. Let's just take a look at them. Pretty cool. These, contact points are a little bit rough, but you know, this is a 6550A, and these are hard to find. You can't actually find these really new anymore. You have to find them like new old stock, and they're really expensive. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get some new ones made by JJ, and apparently they're pretty good for the price. But I'm going to hang on to these just in case there's problems with them, because these do work. They don't have as much punch to them as they're supposed to have. These are supposed to be pretty punchy amps, and yeah, it just doesn't quite have that yet. So I'm gonna pull the rest of these out and get after it. I'm gonna get these out and I'm just going to clean everything. Look at those little guys, kind of cool. So we're gonna pull these out. I'm just gonna take a look at them to see. I think these are all, they're no-namers. I don't see any branding on these, but they're probably just original, or maybe just replaced with the garbage. Yeah, they're supposed to be 12 AX7s. That's what this is. They're all the same. It doesn't matter. Very little wear on that one. I mean, there's no. I'm gonna guess that the one here that's gonna get the most, and I swapped it around, but I think it's this one that's got the gain on it. And that one gets hit pretty hard. And there's a lot of looseness going on in this one right here. This is the gain. There's a lot of noise on this. So I'm gonna go through and kind of like just see what's up and see what the deal is with that. I might just be the connection, but I'm gonna look underneath there and see if I can kind of, if anything looks loose, which it doesn't really look loose. I'm just wondering. May very well have been just everything looks pretty clean. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of tiny bit of corrosion right there. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of electrical cleaner and just to clean it up. Put those in there. Somebody's probably gonna comment on this and say that's wrong. It's wrong to do. You're gonna ruin it. Well, that's what it's made for, isn't it? This power one had a lot of scratchiness going on it, so I'm just going to make sure it's clean. It looks like the contacts on that one are pushed down a little bit, so I'm going to kind of flip everything over and just see, just make sure everything's legit cleaned up. So I'm going to order some new tubes tomorrow. Like I said, the tube place that my old roommate recommended, who plays guitar, he's like, get these tubes from this company because they match them all up. They're actually just really close, so I'm probably just I can just drive over and hopefully I don't think they have a storefront, but I'm going to call them and see if I can pick those up just without having to order them. So that should be kind of cool. I'm going to get those in hand here, and then I'm gonna have to figure out how to bias this thing, kind of learn about it, and this should be one sweet sounding amp here pretty soon. So I'm gonna kind of flip this over and just kind of inspect some more stuff and just see while I'm in here, you know, if everything looks good. But man, this thing looks really clean overall. I can't believe how clean it is. Inspection date, check this out, 2084 reversed. So this is 1984 inspected. I think this is a 1984 amp. 4210, that's the dual channel, which is the 42s. And and this thing's really stiff here. This thing, I'm gonna do some cleanup on this one too, just real quick. But yeah, 1984, it looks like this was manufactured. But this is the DI, direct in, or whatever thing, and this is like really tight. So I'm gonna mess with that a little bit actually, because I think that's definitely not supposed to be that way. Okay, so what I've been doing here is I've been cleaning this thing out with some cleaner, just letting it soak in there a little bit, and then I got to get another knob for this, but I just stole one off the front panel. It just seized up. Still really stiff. Wow. But it's working now. Alright, that looks good. I obviously have to order some parts for this thing. I just kind of wanted to get in there and see what I had before I made the order. And I'm going to be picking up some tubes and some stuff for it. I already replaced the cable. I think after that, it's going to be pretty much a new amp. Hopefully those things work good. Still have to learn exactly, you know, where to bias it and how to do that, but I can figure that out. I have a, you know, again, get a multimeter here ready to rock. This should be a perfect multimeter for that. Get that out, ready to rock. Hopefully tomorrow or so I can get that get the new tubes for it. Maybe I can just go over and pick those up. So yeah, kind of an interesting video. I don't talk a lot about, you know, guitar stuff. I haven't really gotten into it in the last 20 years or so, but it's something I, you know, kind of want to get maybe have a little fun with. You know, the kids seem to be kind of interested in it, interested in music, so they like to sing and dance and play, and so you know, I think they kind of get a kick out of it when I pull out the guitar. So kind of want to do that a little bit more, since they seem to be interested in it, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of getting motivated again after all these years of not playing. So yeah, some other stuff that's going on. You know, we've been a couple weeks ago we painted. It's just been crazy busy. I didn't post anything last week. We were out of town with some friends, and I didn't feel like posting anything. Yeah, we ended up painting our whole lower level of our house. Again, it's kind of boring to watch, but we ended up doing that project, at least starting it. So we still have to do the upstairs and all the rooms. So, but I tell you what, I'm telling you what right now, get good paint. I'll show you, well, it's Sherwin-Williams emerald paint. And, you know, we went to the store and they were going, you know, you're going to need 2 coats for sure if it's over a brown color and that kind of stuff. Let me see if I can get this to focus a little bit better. They said you're going to need 2 coats for sure. Well, this emerald stuff that we picked up, 1 coat and it's done. I mean, we couldn't believe it. So, yeah, 2 coats for we had to paint the ceilings. They were a brown color as well. They did the whole thing. But sort of did that, and then, wow, I mean, this stuff is really good. So I'll show you little clips of those, but, you know, probably won't talk too much about it. It's just a long process of, you know, pretty basic stuff. But it came out really nice, and it made the house feel a lot bigger. Mrs. D is super happy about the color. She spent a lot of time picking that color, and she's really, really good with like home decor and color and all that type of stuff. So, so good, in fact, that we've actually had people ask her to do staging for houses because she's just really good at it. So she picked the right color. It makes it look a lot more open and really cleans it up in there. Has nice color contrast with all the other appliances and stuff like that. So roll in some clips of that, but I'm not going to show you too much on that. All right, so if you guys like the content that you've been seeing on this channel, please don't hesitate to click that like button, the share button, the follow button, but most importantly, the subscribe button. Guys, when I see subscribers, I get excited. When I don't see a lot of subscribers, I don't get a lot excited. And also, if you feel called, use the affiliate links. If we're showing a product, it's out of our own free will. I don't show anything that I don't personally use or like myself, and it helps us out a lot if you click through that and you use the use our Amazon links. Gives us a little boost. Doesn't cost you any more. It goes to the same spot and all the same stuff's there. Even if you just click through it and then start your Amazon search, that of course helps. We don't do a lot of those, but sometimes there's products that we like personally, and then we'll share them with you guys. So it gives us a little bit of a boost if you can do that. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you on the next one.